Get on your feet and make some noise for Caity Lotz!
I love you too.
Well, hello, how are you?
I'm good. It's hot here. You guys live in this hot weather.
Yeah, it's Texas. It's actually not as brutal as we expected. This is kind of like our spring.
Lovely then.
She's laughing because it's true. Welcome, welcome. Should we first talk about who you brought with you?
Oh, this, you mean?
Congratulations!
There's a baby in there. Or I just had too many breakfast tacos.
I know your pain.
I know, it kind of feels like it's like the continuation of end of season 7.
It's, what do they say? It's art imitating life. Now this is life imitating art. We're so glad you're here. Every time we see someone from the Arrowverse, they're just the most wonderful people. How does it feel going to work every day, knowing like you're just working with wonderful people all the time? And I know the Arrowverse has ended for some time. We're going to pretend like it's so cool.
I know, it feels like it's never-ending in a good way. I mean, it's so fun that when you work with everybody for so long, you see them more than you see your own family. So they become like your family, and it's really nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
You started playing Sara all the way back in 2013. Does it feel like a lot of time has passed? That much time has passed, or was it just all a blur?
All a blur. It does not feel like that much time has passed.
And Sara's gone through, arguably, one of the most unique and wild character arcs maybe in the history of television. You've been through just about everything. And did it feel like she was the role of a lifetime? That you'll never get to play anyone that sort of just gone through so many different adventures before?
I mean, life is one big adventure, right? We're all always gotta keep looking forward to the next thing, and I mean, this is definitely the role of a lifetime. It's gonna be a big one. But yeah, I loved playing Sara, and I felt so lucky to get to have all those cool experiences and see her go through so many different character arcs and come back through the edge and redemption and becoming happy and becoming a wife and all of the things and a leader. So it's an awesome journey.
It's been just over 2 years since Legends ended abruptly, and we're all very disappointed that happened, right guys? Looking back, what are some of your fondest memories of working on that show? Which is, again, unlike any other show in the history of entertainment.
Ooh, so many, because we were all out in Vancouver together and kind of isolated from our normal friends and family. So we had a lot of offset time together as well. I think I used to always throw a Halloween party, we'd carve pumpkins, have everybody over, it was really fun. And just on set, messing around. But it's fun, watching everybody, as Jess just had a baby. Well, actually, it's been like a year already. Her baby's a year. And Dom got married, and you just keep in touch with all your old family and watch them grow. Yeah.
Look, go ahead, cheer. Somebody's cheering over here. Go for it. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Is it register all that the showrunners of all these series, including Legends? Is it register how much was accomplished? There were some very bold bold decisions to, you know, cross over not just like 2 shows, but at one point, 5 shows. Like these were things never attempted before. And dozens of cast members, all you guys in certain places. Is it ever register like how challenging and what you guys were able to achieve?
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool to be able to keep such a, like, the cohesiveness throughout all the different shows and make sure that the storylines and the rules that you were creating and establishing would still work, or if it didn't work, you came up with a good explanation. Which it made it, I think, really fun for the die-hard fans especially, because if you didn't watch the whole universe, you didn't get all of it. And there was a lot of like inside things that you wouldn't understand unless you were familiar with the whole universe, which I thought that was really cool. To kind of like, if people are going to invest that time into a, you know, TV universe, that they get something cool back for that investment.
Who here saw the Crisis event? Make some noise. I had David Ramsey, the wonderful David, here on this stage.
Yeah, I haven't seen, I was looking forward to seeing David. I was like, oh, he's here.
He is wonderful, just like everybody, but we talked a lot about Crisis because, again, it's such a huge achievement, and I don't think we talk about it enough. You guys were part of canonizing, like, all of DC, not just the shows, but you had references to Batman 1989, you had references to the Birds of Prey series from the 2000s. Like, that is a massive achievement, and just like you said, you put rules in place, it all made sense, you kind of wiped them all out. But it was absolutely wonderful seeing all you guys together, pulled apart. Certain groups were doing different missions. What are some of your favorite memories on set of just being a part of that Crisis event with characters from all these other TV series?
I mean, we always loved going on to other shows just to see like what it was like, you know, like it's kind of like going over to your friend's house and you're like, well, their mom makes them smoothies and they have a pool. Like, it was very like, we're like, well, their green room has a Lego room. I remember Supergirl had like a Lego room.
What?
Yeah, they had like a proper green room. Like it was like a room, had a little meditation area, somewhere where like Melissa could do her Legos. They had like, yeah, it was so nice. We had like, we had like a screen and like some leftover couches from a yard sale that were actually really comfortable. And yeah, and it was like, it felt like you were like going over to your friend's house. Like you go over to Flash and you're like, what snacks do they have? And you're like, what, they got burgers for hot snack? And then you come back and you're like, we want burgers for hot snack, Flash gets it. So it was, and then it just, you know, like everybody, you get to hang out with people from different shows that you haven't met before, which is really cool, and it's just fun, yeah.
You guys just starred as Sara on a TV show called Arrow. Did you guys ever watch that? I think they've heard of it. What was it like working with Steven and kind of seeing him, like over the years, sort of improve and get more, I don't know what the word is, I don't want to say professional, just get more creative, and like his character went through several arcs. Yours went through several TV shows, but you know, he also had an evolution that is quite drastic from where he started to where he ended up. And David had a lot to say about Steven's sort of work ethic and how he approached scenes. But what do you remember from the Arrow show working with Steven?
Yeah, I mean, watching everybody, because we got so much time together, you really got to see everyone develop. And you could definitely see Steven stepping into almost like a producerial role as well. Like, I remember when I first booked Arrow, and Steven reached out to me. He like texted me or something, and to just welcome me to the show and say that, you know, they were so excited to work and if I needed anything. And it felt, I was like, this is so nice, like to feel like, you know, somebody's reaching out their hand. You're stepping into this whole new group that's already been established, because I came in on season 2, and to have somebody who's like, hey, if you need anything, you can call me, like, I'm here to help, which was really nice. And he was always very encouraging along the way, and I think the longer the show went on, the more he had to take on a lot of other responsibilities in terms of taking care of crew and cast and just keeping the whole thing going, which was really impressive. And you know, you mentioned David Ramsey as well, getting to see him evolve into a director. So I got to work with him. He came and directed on Legends, which was really fun. And
I love that episode.
yeah, the Western.
It was a Western. It was Bass Reeves, had a horrible mustache.
Gotta have a bad mustache, you know?
But it felt, I don't know, for some reason it did feel different, and it's great seeing David get more opportunities. And then you guys had a monster that was, it was an alien, but it looked very much like a graboid from Tremors, and I absolutely love Tremors. If you can talk to somebody in Hollywood to like make another Tremors movie, but a good one.
That movie haunted me as a child.
Really? I mean, me too, but yeah.
I just remember like feeling like I couldn't touch the floor. And so like if I touched the ground, I was gonna, you know, get eaten. And then like my parents' bedroom and being like terrified at night, but being like, I can't run to their rooms. So I would do some more, another Tremors. They just did Twister again. Which,
that's right. The Glenn Powell sequel comes out next month. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved the original. I don't know how I feel about this new one, but I'll go see it before I judge it.
I'm of the mindset that movies kind of specific like Twister doesn't get a sequel unless you have a really, really good idea, because how much different can it get from the first one? Like, we had Twisters of different sizes, and they were in trouble, and they were in danger. And you can't really get too far away from that.
Well, and I'm just like, I need Helen Hunt. I need like her back in it, and yeah, I don't know. I'll go see it. I've been going to the movies all the time. Do you guys go to the movies still? Yeah, right? My husband and I we got like a movie pass thing, and so now we go all the time, and God, I love the movies. It's such a nice escape and such fun storytelling, and I feel like everyone was saying theaters are dying, but I'm like, no, long live the movies.
You talked about David being a director for Legends. You yourself also directed a handful of the Arrowverse episodes, or maybe it was just all Legends, but did you always have that in mind? Was it an idea, or did you get that motivation later down the line? And then how I guess helpful was Warner Brothers, because this was a program inside the company, right? To get people to sort of get their feet wet with directing?
Yeah, which I think they might have just dissolved it, which is so sad. That's kind of what's happening. I don't know. But yeah, I directed, I think I did 4, including our 100th episode, which was a crazy one to do. And then I did one on Flash, which was really fun to be able to go onto a different show to direct. And I didn't, when I started, have directing in mind, but also I didn't realize I could direct. Like, I could do that. And then it was just after years of doing it and kind of watching directors and going, I would do that differently. I wish they would do that. And like finding myself wanting to step into that, where I was like, what? And Maisie actually, I don't know if you guys remember Maisie, who's doing the new season of 10 Perfect Strangers with Nicole Kidman. Just so excited for her.
Wow.
Yeah, but she was a big part of the inspiration too. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's direct. And so I didn't envision it when I first started, and was so grateful for that program specifically. Which really helped, a lot of people who are already kind of directing and doing stuff, but just needed that foot in. And the director's program at Warner Brothers was amazing. I hope they bring it back.
Was it a challenge that you were just like driven to step up to? Was it overwhelming at first? Like, what was your first sort of
It was
reaction?
hard.
Really?
So hard. Directing was way more work than acting. Acting, you just focus on you. That's it, you. And everyone else is like there to help you just do you. You have people helping you with your costumes, what to wear, what to say, your hair, your makeup. Everyone's there to just assist you in creating this character. When you're directing, you're everything you have to think about. Every actor, every light, every, cut, the editing, the props, the set deck. You're supposed to be the overall vision for all of that. And it's an enormous amount of work, that's for sure. I was like, I think, after you do it a bunch, it probably gets easier, but it was challenging, but I liked the challenge.
What's your best piece of advice for any aspiring directors in the audience today?
Just do it. There's no excuse. Even actors, writers, directors, anybody who wants to be in the creative industry at all, there's no excuse to not just do it. Like, it might not be on the scale yet that you want, but you can film something on your phone. You don't have a phone, borrow someone's phone. You can make it happen. You don't have to wait for someone to give you the opportunity. And you can't anymore. It's not like nobody's walking around and is like, hey, you look like you should be a director. Come with me, I'll give you a shot. Even like as an actor, it's like, you got this great look, I'll put you in my movie. Like, does that really happen? I mean, I don't know. I think that did happen to Nick Zano. He got discovered in a shoe store.
What?
Yeah, I think it was on Sunset Boulevard. He was selling shoes, and they were like, you, sir, you should come be on MTV. That's how he got his start. Just this charmed life, plucked from a shoe store. He deserves that, though. He's charmed.
Absolutely. Let's get to some audience questions. This first one is from Cece. Right here. All right.
Hi, Cece.
She's got a couple in here. First of which, how did it feel putting on the white Canary suit for the first time?
Okay, well, let's talk about the black suit and the white suit. And white is hard to wear. I don't know if anyone's cosplayed White Canary. It's harder. It's harder than wearing black. But like the first time I put on the Black Canary costume, which I look back now, I'm like, girl, you looked great. I was like, I don't look like a superhero. Like, I look ridiculous, and everything about, I didn't feel confident. And I remember, talking to one of my friends, and she was like, it doesn't matter how you look, it matters how you feel. And if you step out of your trailer feeling like you look stupid or you don't look like a superhero, you're gonna look stupid and no one's gonna think you're a superhero. But if you step out and you feel confident, everyone's gonna believe you and everyone's gonna hop on board. So whether you feel it or not, you better fake it till you make it. So, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's actually great advice. So even though I didn't feel good, I didn't feel confident, I was pretending I did. And then everyone started to believe it. And then I started to believe it. So it's a great hack for life. Because, whatever you put out there, people hop on board. So it's good to, you know, keep your chin up and keep your shoulders back. White Canary costume, that went from so many different iterations too. It was like the jacket, the knot, the this, the that. But I mean, every time it's cool. It feels like Halloween. You're like, it literally probably feels the exact same when you put on a cosplay as how it feels. You're like, this is fun.
Cece also wants to know, would you ever consider coming back as White Canary if you were asked?
I think if they wanted to do some kind of wrap-up for Legends, yeah, I would be like, let's do it. I would love to wrap it up. They actually, the producers wanted to explore pitching like a kind of movie, and it was really cool, the idea that they had. I hope they still, I don't know what happens to that Phil Plummer out there. What happened to our movie? So yeah, for sure, I'd love to give it a proper ending.
Let's clap for something happening in the future. We want that, right? Do you feel like you haven't had closure with Sara?
No, I guess not, but in a way it like kind of keeps her alive for me in a good way, where it's like, it's done, maybe, you know. But I think the only thing I didn't feel like I had closure, because we didn't say goodbye on set. Like, we finished filming, it was like, see you later, and we didn't do like the, you know, hug everybody and thank you so much and all of that stuff. But I also hate goodbyes, so maybe that's for the best. It's like getting to ghost at a party. Just like, and I'm leaving.
See you later. Cece, last question. Was there a teacher who inspired you? She's also a teacher, so she wants to know if you had a teacher in your life that inspired you.
Teachers are so important. School, I remember it was always like science or biology teachers. I had two that were really great. But my biggest inspiration teacher was my dance teacher. And she was, I mean, everything to me. She became my big sister, and she's the one who believed in me. She's the one who pushed me. And I don't think I would have had, you know, this career that I've had without her like making me feel like I could do it and I was special and to work hard. She really taught me like my work ethic. And yeah, shout out to Tiffany Francie, or now it's Tiffany King, sorry, she's married. But she still teaches dance, so, and yeah, I credit her a lot for my success. Teachers are the best.
Any other teachers in the house?
Yeah.
Let's make some noise for the teachers that are here. Lauren would like to know, what was your favorite scene to shoot with Jess?
Oh gosh. Any scene where we were in bed. But that was mostly because then we got to just like lay in bed like all day. It takes hours to shoot a scene and we're like just under the covers and like hanging out, talking. What other ones were really fun? Our fight scenes were fun. She's so good at comedy. She's so funny. So like all the comedy scenes are fun to play with her. And yeah, there's too many.
Darla would like to know, I saw the 2015 film 400 Days. In it was you, Brandon Routh, and Tom Cavanaugh, all from the Arrowverse. How did you all get cast for that film? And was it a coincidence that the three of you were all there?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because this was before Brandon joined The Flash, I think.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I remember...
I think you might have been in Arrowverse as Ray Palmer. He got introduced, I think, first as Ray Palmer in Arrow.
So then maybe it was a Tom Cavanaugh. One of them I remember talking about doing the Flash pilot or something. And I think it was just a coincidence that we all made it when we were in the same film together. I don't think it had anything to do with the Arrowverse, but it was fun. It was a weird, cool little sci-fi film.
Yeah, another cheers. Cheer louder, please. Do you miss fight training? Would you do it all over again if you had the chance?
Yeah, actually I got to do, I don't know when this movie is coming out, it's taking forever, but a Muay Thai movie that we shot in Thailand, so I got to do some extensive training in Muay Thai. So I'm still doing some stuff here and there, I mean not as much right now, but I'm sure I'll get back into it. I did it before the Arrowverse, so do it after, and I love it.
This is a great question. What are some personality traits that you relate and differ from Sara Lance?
Well, we kind of merged a lot over the years. And you always bring a lot of yourself to characters. I think, you know, I'm not as tough as Sara. Sara's like more hard. But I think we both like being in charge. And we both like being part of a team, take care of a team. And gosh, I don't know. Just like, yeah.
Little bits and pieces where maybe you guys overlap.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like where we were different too. They
Probably less fighting in real life.
less fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Less killing too.
Less time travel.
Less time travel. I didn't murder anybody.
Punching aliens. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would like to do a speed run with you. I did one with David. I want to do one with you as well. This is for your Legends cast. Who is the funniest legend behind the scenes?
Nick.
Who's most likely to break character during a dramatic scene?
Brandon? Maybe? I don't know.
Please tell him that when you see him. I want to know his response. Who's the hardest to break?
I don't know. Me? I was usually pretty in it, even though it was like messing around trying to make me laugh. I'm like, nope, you gotta go.
Let's go with you. Who's the singer of the group? Always singing, either on camera or off camera, just around the set.
Franz?
Who?
Franz.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Firestorm.
There you go, there you go.
Or other half of Firestorm. Victor was a singer too.
Let's see here. I have a few more questions for you, but first, I would like to know who remembers when Matt Ryan had his own show, Constantine? When that show ended, my heart was crushed. It was so good, and he embodied that character straight off the comics. And so you guys saved our lives, because when you brought him into Legends, that was absolutely incredible. And to see him interact with all of you was also wonderful. So what is it like to work with him?
Oh, I love Matt. He's awesome. And yes, that character was really cool, and he really brought it to life. So it was so awesome to be able to like pluck him off of that show and pop him onto our show. Just so cool. And he's just such an actor. Like he's like the actor where we're somewhere and like all of a sudden like the snow starts falling and he starts reciting Shakespearean monologues, and because he's like a theater actor, and he really gives 100% to everything. And it was so wild because, so you know, the last season he wasn't John Constantine anymore.
Right.
We always joked around that he was going to be Ron Constantine. And it was because the DC took away the character. They're like, you guys can't have Constantine anymore because they were doing a movie or something with Constantine, so they didn't want the character out on TV. But I haven't seen that movie.
No, it's not out there yet. Meanwhile, we have 2 Batmans going on around that same time, and only one Superman. But it doesn't make any sense. Some characters you can, some characters you can't. This is a great question. Could White Canary win Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, for sure.
You guys agree?
Who's playing the character? Like who's, as long as it's a good controller.
Are you a video gamer?
No. You know who is? Cassidy. Caity
Really?
Cassidy. She's a gamer. Yeah.
Would you be surprised that that was David's answer of who breaks the least on their show?
Was Cassidy?
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised. When Paul Blackthorne played our dad, they're both very serious. Like we had lots of very serious character conversations. Caity takes her acting very seriously. Like she's like, when she's in it, she's in it. So I believe that for sure. She's very talented.
It wasn't for lack of trying. Him and Steven would purposely try to make a break when they were doing like close-ups and stuff. They never could.
Yeah, no, she's in it to win it.
Other than your character, which is your favorite character from Legends?
Heatwave.
Yeah?
Yeah, what do you mean, yeah?
Any Heatwave fans?
How do you not love, like, it's not like Heatwave, it's more Rory. I love
Yes.
Rory. He's just, Dom's such an interesting actor. He's so interesting with that character, you know, like with the romance novels and the surprising sensitivity, and like, you just kind of never really knew, you always thought you knew him and you knew what to expect, and then there's always this like curveball, and you're like, what?
He was also pregnant with alien babies in his skull.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm telling you guys, this show is wild. Let's see here. What was your... Oh, let's get... We kind of went over that one again. How funny is Adam in real life? Gary Green.
Yeah, Gary Green's all the man we need. He is as funny in real life as he is on the show. He's such a character. The way, you know, some people, they're just like funny and they can't help but being funny. That's him. He's funny all the time. And I've never met somebody who has so much zest for life. It's really like, he has, I don't know how, like, would never have any problem like doing things alone either. Every time I talk to him, he's like out going to theaters, going to this, going to Cannes, and like, he's so bold and has no reservations and is just totally kind of unself-conscious. Like, he's not thinking about himself and how he's perceived. He's just busy being himself. And I really admire that about him. And I think that's what makes him so funny too, is because he's just boldly himself all the time. He's not trying to censor or trying to manipulate or think about what you're thinking about him, and just, it's like he's just blah, this is me. And I love that about him, and it makes him so funny on camera and off camera.
He's probably my favorite character just because a lot of what you said, you didn't know what he was going to do next, what he was going to say next, what predicament he was going to put himself into next, and he made the comedy look so effortless. His facial expressions, he's got like 1 million of them. Is he at all like that charismatic or in real life?
Yes, that's him. That's not a character, that's just him.
Noted. I had a friend want me to ask a question, and I promised him I would. He's a big Star Trek fan, so would you ever join a Star Trek project?
Yeah, for sure. I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is like one of my favorite genres. I think it's always exploring such interesting topics, and you can get so philosophical and also like fantasy. I love it.
I love hearing that. Do you have a favorite sci-fi IP or franchise that hooked you as a kid or growing up?
I mean, Star Trek's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't have like a standout favorite.
Last question, and I really love this one, so I saved it for last. What are you most looking forward to about motherhood? And this is from Matt. Matt, where are you at, sir? Right over there.
Hi, Matt. I think, what am I most looking forward to? I think not focusing on myself so much and really like being able to get outside of my own head and focus on something outside of myself. I think that it's going to be incredibly freeing, and I already feel that way with, you know, even like any thoughts or feelings or insecurities about body and this and that, and you're like, it's now more than me. Like all of the like stupid little things that made me stress out or I worried about, and it really puts it into context when you can become about something bigger and you can forget yourself a little bit. I think I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah! Caity, you are just as wonderful as every other Arrowverse person I've ever spoken to. As I mentioned when we started, these shows, these stories, and these characters have accomplished so much over the last 11 years, or 14 years when Arrow started.
65 years.
It was 84 years ago. That's what I thought. But I don't want it to get lost on the fact that so much was achieved. There's so much great talent, great performances, and great stories from not only the cast but the showrunners. And we're so grateful that you came here to join us today. And good luck with everything.
Thank you.